It's episode
Morning.
77. I'm not Jessica Hare. I'm Gloria Bolga, and this is Poppy Harlow.
Why don't you change your thing? I think just for this episode, you should have it like super special.
I don't know who will get that reference. If you get the reference, put the YouTube channel in the in the comments. Is this a not safe for work podcast, Jana?
I don't know. I kind of went on somebody else's post and just like tossed that out there just in case. And then they were like, what? It is? And they were like super confused. So maybe it's totally safe for work and we just don't know like what the new work standards
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a trap. It's a trap. Don't play it at work.
No, unless you have headphones. Headphones are awesome. I'm sure it just like will not sit correctly. Sorry, guys. Okay.
All right. Do some shout outs for me. We had a bunch of people in here early.
Way early. Friday morning, apparently. Will's Hella Heat.
What's up, Will?
Lori Gray, a sponsor of the podcast. Slinky Fox. Lorga. Jamie. Mark. Jana's here.
She was here early.
Marshall, Studio Cold Blood, Bohemian, Texas Kid, Super Snake Syndicate. I think we did Bohemian. Brian with BC's Balls, Richard with Creative Core Lofus, Jake Hole with the Ophididarium. Did I say that right? Ophididarium? You say it, Jessica. I don't know. Third Eye Pythons. Morph Wizards. Pope County. TJ Hutch. Evolve Xotics. Silent Hill. Cuddle Time. Jennifer. And if you are here and you are here at the beginning, then obviously you like us. So hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Okay, that I promise, Jessica, I'm done.
Yeah, we're getting up there. I think we're at 600 or something. But
yeah, my daughter just asked, so we're over 600.
Let's go. All right, excellent. Thank you for coming, everybody. Hopefully, this will be good for you.
Was it good for you? It was good for me.
Very quickly, vetdna.com. Ral, gracefully offered us a code, hashtag shit happens with an exclamation point for $5 off a crypto panel. Everybody should be testing pretty much everything for crypto, even ball pythons, unfortunately. So if you see a weird poop or a weird emaciation, slap it with a crypto panel. Lizards.
And use our wonderful code. And
happens.
Swab the poop. Don't send the poop. Okay.
All right. I think we have other sponsors, which is weird. Look at what is this word here?
What is this word? A kid?
The statement question mark?
Is it a goat? A baby? I'm not really sure, but you should tune in for this premiere. I will be tuning in because I'm confused.
It premieres April 9th at 2 p.m. My times Central. So if they bred again, that would be a football team?
I think so. I think they're officially a football team.
At least a baseball team.
Definitely a baseball team.
Yeah.
So he's probably asleep, but if he's here, like, how many would this make it? Like 10, 12?
Baker's dozen.
That'd be 13.
Right.
Lucky 13 or unlucky 13. How you look at it.
Yeah, the 13th is like the Antichrist or whatever.
So if you couldn't tell, Mr. Shane Kelley from Small Town Exotics is the OG sponsor of the Holdback Rack. But please make sure you are subscribed to him on YouTube, because we all need to know. On the edge of my seat over here, I can hardly concentrate on anything else. It derailed my morning. Anyway, thank you, Shane.
Thank you, Shane. And he was like, did you like my color scheme so much that you made the like Instagram promo the color scheme because it's all red.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, those looks
course.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It was
all
extra
Shane Kelley
thing
themed.
for our OG man.
Mm-hmm. Who's these
Gray,
people?
Gray Family Snakes. They are also a sponsor of the podcast. Are still doing their all proceeds to the merch at their store is going to their project in Africa for eye surgeries. The foundation teaches people that live there how to perform the eye surgeries. So it's like a long-lasting effort there, not just like we're going to bring in some doctors and do it like once in a while. They're also going to be heading over there in May to volunteer their time as well. So if you need some amazing merch from Gray Family Snakes, make sure you do it now so that it can benefit their healthcare in West Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for sponsoring the podcast.
Thank you. Dodger Witch says, glad to find you live. Nice meeting you in Fort Worth. I hope you're the person I think you are. Because you're not in the thumbnail. But I love talking to you.
I love talking to you, but I don't know who you are. That's great.
If you're the woman who's getting wants a climax, then I love talking to you. If you're the cord snake people, I love talking to you.
Yeah, comment below who you really are, because Dungeon Witch is a little ambiguous.
I mean, I feel that way a lot. Like a dungeon witch. So, respect.
Oh, Jared, that's really brave. Really, really brave.
For the audio only people, Jared says driving with the kid, wife, and mother-in-law listening. So
hey, I tell my own mother not to tune in. Sometimes she doesn't listen and it always burns her ears just a smidge. So I apologize to Jared's mother-in-law and child. I'm sure his wife can handle it, but I apologize to those other
Dungeon
people.
Witch was not the girl who wanted the climax.
It's a dude with the long hair and glasses.
Still legit. Yeah. It was nice meeting you too. It's hard. It's hard. And
it's hard because people don't realize that it's really easy to know two humans. So
it's like the teacher phenomenon.
Yeah, like you know who we are, but there's like 5 million of you. And so if you come up to us at shows, or I don't know if you're stalking us and you come up to us, identify yourself, please, so that like we know who you are, like name, business, that kind of thing.
Maybe even like logo.
Yeah, pull up your logo because Jana's very visual.
Hi, Donnell and aspiring Daniel. What's up? All right, look at this beast.
Oh my gosh, this is cool. I don't know, this got my heart going a little. I might need one or two or three. It's gorgeous. This is Bravo Zulu. She is an incredible female veteran ball python breeder, and she is branching out into boas. And this is one of her gorgeous babies. We appreciate her sponsoring the podcast. If you don't know who this is, we have an interview with her, or it's not really an interview, like a discussion with her, and a few episodes back that you can check out. And also you should be knowing her. So go over and subscribe or follow to her Instagram because she's badass. I mean, dang, now I feel like I can't swear on my own podcast. Jared, this is your fault.
Listening.
Anyway, that's hot. I would get into that.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
All right, we did it. The first ad break. Hi, Jared.
We made it through, and I only offended his mother-in-law just a wee bit.
Just a couple of times. All right, everybody. So I am. Well, I was Gloria, right? And you're Poppy.
Sure. Although you have like a fun news lady.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We're doing the news. This is only for Stonk reports.
I need like a Jana, like a baby one, since I'm not actually doing it.
I went through my wardrobe and I was looking for anything that looked vaguely formal to look like a news lady. And I was like, whoops, t-shirts.
Whoops, all t-shirts.
Speaking of t-shirts.
What? Reptile Army. Oh yeah. So if you guys don't know, Brian Barczyk started his chemo. So if you could just
yesterday's video was
it was pretty hard to
very
watch.
upsetting for
So
him and me and
yeah,
everybody else.
I've been having a hard time watching them, but I do always go over and throw in some support in the comments. Just a really tough time for him and his family. If you don't care for Brian Barczyk and you don't have anything nice to say, then move along, because they don't need your negativity right now. They have enough of universe negativity in their life. So be an adult, say something nice, or don't say anything at all.
Yeah. And support if you
feel inclined. Reptile Army. The proceeds obviously are going
Alex really liked the shirt. He was very impressed. Like, he doesn't just
they have kid ones, don't they?
Yeah, I might have to get him one. But
you should.
Where are they going? He's like was so into like the fact
that they're marching along on an adventure. You should be like, they're going herping.
I was like impressed how he doesn't give a shit about anything with reptiles. Let me be honest. It's not a car, it doesn't have wheels, but he liked these because they look like cartoon animals.
They do.
So I'll probably get him a shirt.
Yeah, I need to do that. So I'll go and order one, and maybe that's what I'll wear for next time.
I did order the Speaking of Bravo Zulu, the I like snakes more than people shirt. But it's in the wash, so I'll wear that one next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, it was nice looking.
Oh, I do need to give like a little forewarning. It is spring break, so I have 3 children and a puppy dog. All here. So you're going to hear little voices. You may see little faces. I may yell in my mom voice at little children.
Some people like that, though.
There may be like
they're into it.
Puppy whining in the background. It's just chaos. Spring break chaos over here at ASM. So I'll try not to be too distracting. If it gets distracting, I'll mute it so we can all hear the wonderfully intelligent and apparently depressing things that Jessica has to share with us today.
Yes. Yeah, I'm depressed in general this week, but I still did my work because I'm a good person. And Alex is here also, but he's one child and a boy, so
he's one child and he's a unicorn. So she's just like, sit quietly, and he's like, okay, mommy.
He's playing Need for Speed Hot Pursuit or something on my husband's computer. So
see, now I could have thrown electronics at my children, but they
hell yeah, I'm a bad parent.
No, I normally would. They just they've been super naughty, so they've lost their screen privileges, and it feels like I'm not reinforcing my own things if I'm like, well, I need you to be quiet, so here's your tablet, even though I've taken all of your tablets.
Bad parenting is fun. Let's go. I don't know. He's been good, so I don't. All right, let's do this. All right, boys and girls, it's spreadsheet time. I know it's your favorite time of the year. And the problem with this, like doing it at a quarterly basis, is there's not enough statistical power to do a two-tailed t-test on each sort of new segment because there's not enough sales per unit time now. So it's just percent change. Okay? Do we understand what I just said?
Sort of. Maybe say it again for those of us that are slow.
So like if you have 50 sales in like 2022 and 50 sales in 2023, you would be able to like try to see if there's a significant difference in price point.
What you're saying is a 3-month amount of data is
right. So like when we at the end of the year, if we want to aggregate it, we could actually like do tests in this way.
We don't want to aggregate it. We want you to aggregate it.
So I couldn't do that. So these are just percent changes, not adjusted for inflation. Okay. Then after we talk about these numbers, which are going to seem upsetting, I have a little PowerPoint that has some feelings in it. Because I had some feelings, I can't help myself. But let's go, Jana.
All the feelings.
All the feelings. So many feelings. Clown. Single gene clown. I don't know if you can read this. I'll put this in the show notes after. I didn't put it in before because I knew you would spoil yourselves, everybody at home.
You would spoil the fun. This is all of our live reaction. She wouldn't even let me see it. So
males are down 9% and females are down 14.4%. 0.44%. So they are below 2019 and pre-COVID 2020 levels. So they have they're indeed. I checked Banana Clown because I was like, that's like a pet looking clown, right? Where there's a female bias because females bananas are rarer than male, whatever. Punishing the female banana clown, 36% drop from 2022 to Q1 23. Punishing 11% drop on males. So that means like the current situation that I'm seeing across the board is like intro breeder animals are not selling very well. Some high-end animals are, low-end animals piddling out very slowly to the odd pet person, but the breeder level animals are suppressing the price. The like intro breeder or mid-level breeder animals are suppressing the prices across the board down and then dragging down the high-end stuff too, because nobody can afford to go buy the $4,000 snake if they can't sell their two $800 snakes, and the two $800 snake seller can't. The person who sells $200 snakes, the whole system is collapsing because there's not enough people sucking up the
multi-level marketing really shines and shows its true colors. I just really quick wanted to say hello to Chris, BNS Reptilia. That's one of our sponsors.
What's up?
And then also he said that it is Will's birthday. Is that right, Will?
What?
If you say it's your birthday in the comments, I will give you a official happy birthday shout out.
Mm-hmm. Also, this banner.
For those that are audio only, it says, I have no fiduciary duty to you. Believe nothing.
Yeah. And obviously, opinions reflected herein don't reflect
our opinions are
us
like
or our
I feel like
sponsors.
I can't say assholes because Jared's mother-in-law is listening. Jared, you're really crapping my style here, but I appreciate that you are tuning in even though you are on the road.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Banana Clown.
Wait. Can I interject again, even though
sure.
I'm like totally interrupting and killing your role? But I did check out some pied het clown females because I didn't make any last season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like right about that time that the prices get better. By which I mean all of you are dropping your prices, and you can get a 2022 female het clown with jeans for like $800.
Mm-hmm.
Like pied het clown. Like
mm-hmm.
That's really cheap. They used to be like $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
they'll just be cheaper.
That made me sad.
In 3 months or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, keep going. So like these are still like $400 for males and $825 for females. So it's still fairly expensive or whatever. As like a combo, but not like, I don't know. Not like
it's all terrible.
So they're kind of being supported by like pet numbers. There were some sales that were down for males that were in the 200s, 275.
Wait,
I'm like lagging.
Male clowns?
Male banana clowns.
What? For $200? Or they're down $200?
They're in the 200s.
Holy
so
shit.
275.
That's because those used to be like highly sought after and wanted.
I have a delay.
Do you have a delay?
I did. Oh well. Keep going. Desert Ghost, everybody's favorite weird gene that's not as attractive as people think it is. Males went up 1%. So they're basically the same price.
Well, that's good, right?
Females are down 8%.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. This is why you should buy what you like, not what's trendy.
I still don't like this disparity between the male price and the female price. It still doesn't make sense. Like they shouldn't be that different as a percent difference.
Yeah.
The female price needs to come down to more match. I'm just telling you, it's not a natural. This is like a natural like price variation between male and female price.
How come males aren't more expensive?
In Desert Ghost?
Yeah.
Probably because you can get a Desert Ghost male inchy or pastel or yellow belly for the same price, basically. So it just presses down on this single gene male.
Okay.
G-stripe, punished, absolutely wrecked.
Don't tell me I can't handle the truth.
Female G-stripe single gene G-strips are down 40% to $146, and 0 males sold in Q1 total. So there's no price at all.
That's not true. I sold my male
with no other genes, Jana.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel better.
Which is fine. It just means people are wholesaling those males, but that means they're not moving. So there's no interest in them as a pet. Also, because there's inventory on Morph Market.
I sell single gene G stripes at fairly good at the reptile shows, but definitely would not put it on Morph Market.
Right, it's fine. It just means that things have fallen off of Morph Market to only shows.
Correct.
Like in terms of interest from buyers, which is totally fine. But that we're doing the like, can it sell on Morph Market check? Bless you
guys.
Yes, Brian. This is no other genes, just the single gene, because I can't.
It's too complicated if she does it.
Yeah, I can't add all of the codoms to the recessive and then compare them that way. I'm like delayed again. I don't know why. Okay, whatever. Just don't look at me. Listen to my voice. And the reason why you do that is because there usually aren't enough instances of like a specific combo, like a leopard, yellow belly, G-stripe, het clown. How many of those are there in the world?
Not many.
And then how many are even sold on Morph Market? Not many, if any. I did do leopard G-stripe, but there weren't enough sold to even like talk. I mean, ever. So if more of them sell, I'll generate a graph. But it's basically halved in price in the last year.
Could you say again what that is?
Leopard G-stripe.
Oh yeah, that it was like way stupid inflated.
It was $750 in 2022, and in 2023 their average is $410. But it's like the best single gene G-stripe adder. So I was like, we'll do that, but not enough have sold, and they've halved in price, even though only a couple have even been ever offered for sale. So fuck me, right? Double hit Kikis.
Yes, please.
It's atrocious, Jana. None have sold. There is inventory on Morph Market, but that's that intro level. I want to buy a couple female with no gene double het Kikis, but no one's buying really that kind of thing.
Yeah, nobody's buying it if they don't. The like visual with single het, like the G-stripe het clown or clown het G-stripes, those are selling pretty good still though.
We'll see.
Dylan says you would like that too much, Jessica.
Too much of what?
You said fuck me.
I don't know. Right now I feel fucked already. So
you don't look like you enjoyed it though. So
no.
It was not done properly.
Acid's funny. Because obviously it came out on the market before 2018, but the first instances are at $3,500 for males. And they're weirdly, like they were trying to pull a Palmetto / Stranger where the males were much more expensive than the females early on. And J Royals was actually trying to sell females for $750 in 2019 and doing it and like trying to prop up the male price to $3,000. But people were flipping it on him, even though his pricing regime seemed clear to me. So eventually so that's why they're like in between instead of having a bias towards the females, because they were like, oh, you can run a codom acid to a bunch of stuff and make $1,000 combo babies if they hit acid. And it's like a fast way to do the codom game.
For sure.
But
so this is just acid or is this acid clown?
Just acid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's not enough acid clowns.
That's not as depressing.
Well, there's not enough acid clowns ever sold. If because they'll usually be combo. So you can't compare 3 things to 2 things and be like, we have a trend.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Yeah. So it's still interesting because it's balanced, but no single gene assets have sold in Q1 at all. But there's some up for sale for around $500. So the last stuff that sold, males were 5. Oh, wait. It's 700 and like 450. It's dropped a lot. You can't go buy a male acid and make $1,000 combos anymore.
Bummer, dude.
Even if they're like pos het, whatever. So this one is not that great. It's so depressing. Puzzle. It's doing pretty good to me, Jana. Males are down 24%. That's just like a single gene male when most of them are pastel anyway.
Right.
So it's
Did you
fine.
include pastel into that, or you left it
No.
out?
I always don't do it because it's literally not fair.
It's not fair.
And then females are steady at 3% down, but whatever. It's like a negligible difference. So puzzle's doing swimmingly.
So for all you people that were into puzzle before it started to go big, good job.
Well, it didn't go big. It's just
it's on its way.
No, it's on its way down, but it's on its way down slowly, which is good.
Like its popularity, it's on its way.
I don't think. Oh, I don't know.
Agree
in terms
to disagree.
Of its price, it's on its every morph is on its way down.
But isn't that the normal progression of any morph?
Yes,
so
but this is a slow down, and that's what I'm into.
Popularity.
I think there's like a break-even point between popularity and speed of rate of fall. If it's too popular, the speed increases, the velocity increases, which is yucky. Sunset.
Oh, sorry.
So here's in 2018, one was sold for 2 were sold for 30, and then in the same year, 1 was sold for 12. So who was mad at paying 30? We'll see. So I had to bump the 2018 numbers away to make it more obvious what was happening.
Right.
So there was a 2021 bump, but not really a 2020 bump. So it was just interest, sort of, as people got more and more interested in breeding. They came in 2020 with their pet, and they got interested.
That's the COVID baby boomer bump,
right? But I guess what's interesting is it's not as strong of a bump as it is in like clown, where it's like obvious. But they are down a lot. Maybe like I didn't do the percentages on this one for some reason. Maybe 2 or 3 and maybe 15% for females. And someone sold a male or 2 different males for $37.50. Was the cheapest Q1 sale. So I don't know. I would not, unless it's big, I wouldn't pay $5,000 for a male. I would probably still pay $4,000 for a female, though.
Unless it's like a quality thing, because there are some dog shit sunsets out there, and I would pay $1,000 more if it was one of those sunsets that looked really good. Like if it was an adult male that looked really good and I could test it, I would pay extra for not dog shit sunset.
Well, these aren't adults; these are babies.
Of course.
But yeah, well, because you can't.
Whatever, Jessica.
I'm just telling you.
Shh.
All right, let's do some doubles. Beautiful numbers here. Dreamsicle. It's down 15% on males and 18% on females. Males are $1,349 and females are $2,000. Which is for like a 3-month period, a 20% drop in prices.
Is a lot.
To me, it feels crazy.
That is crazy. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Like, I think the next 3 months are going to be just as depressing.
No, I think the next 12 months are going to be.
That's fair. I just meant next episode is going to be depressing as well.
Mm-hmm. So the problem is just like ball pythons are a lagging indicator of like sentiment, because people will like a house, post it for sale, and then be like, it's not selling, I should drop price. So inventory will sit with a person at a particular mindset of what they think they're supposed to be getting, but that's not the like strike price for people who to want to buy. And so like things will have to slowly percolate down as sentiment sort of matches up. But there's no reason to believe. You should have to read it because it's audio only. So
I was waiting for you to finish your statement. I was waiting patiently. Are you finished? Do I need to read it now? Oh, okay. Forward Motion Reptiles says 99% of sunsets out there should come with a lifetime supply of toilet paper. And Will responded to that by saying Charmin Ultra Strong.
Leviathan's going to get mad.
Well, they're not here, so
you're going to have to knife fight or whatever.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they don't have the dog shit kind, you know? Jury's still
some
out.
Some of theirs look nice. Random off topic, but Canova like was doing that video of like how to breed ball pythons, and he showed on accident a sunset pied in the background. Did you see that?
I did not.
And it's so ugly, I forgot. Like I was like,
okay, it was like, not news.
It looked like a pin pied or something to me.
Oh,
it was not a nice color. It wasn't even gold like a pin pied. It was just like brown. So to me, what's nice about Dreamsicle though is there's a lot of sales still. A lot of them are moving, so people still like it, even if the prices come down a little bit.
It's still popular.
It's still popular. Some of these things, no one's buying any of them, but people are. We have like 20 sales here just in the last 3 months of Dreamsicle, single gene, or the double Dreamsicle. So people like it. So I would be inspired about that. I checked Candy Pied because I was like, is that the better Dreamsicle?
It is the better Dreamsicle.
It does look nicer, but it's sold.
Candy Pied is my favorite.
It's sold none.
Not well.
None. It didn't sell any in the last 3 months. So I double checked. I was like, is there inventory? No. Or yes, there was inventory. And some older ones sold, like 2.5, 3-year-old sold. But none of that fit my like less than 2-year-old category. So I couldn't tell you what it's gone down, but it probably should go down more if none of them have sold in 3 months across the. It finished up 2022 with a 2,825 for males and 2,650 for females. So it's still in the like switch where males are more expensive than females.
Yeah, I wonder if the cheaper Candino pieds are selling, because the price difference is huge between a candy pied and a Candino.
I can check that next time.
Oh, you don't need to. I'm curious, so I'm gonna go look at that and see, because I know I used to be in that project, but then I had to dial down some of my projects. But it's very interesting. It's almost. Last time I checked, it was almost like 3 times the price for a candy pied, whereas a Candino pied was like super cheap still.
Right. Well, like albino pieds are $700 or something, $500. Really, so you could make a Candino pied very easily.
Correct.
So I don't know why anybody wants to work albino pied, by the way. My God. So that was a little weird to me that they need to drop prices. They need to switch so that the females are more expensive than the males, but they haven't done it
yet. So Brian said that Dreamsicles at Tinley were going for $750 to $800. What were they going for on your chart?
I have some at $650, $938, $1,000. So if someone was like, I want to blow some out the door, and they $750 them, that makes sense to me. At a show.
So that's pretty consistent to what we're seeing online.
Right. And some of these, I mean, somebody sold, the last one that sold in March was at $1,350. So people are paying more for one that was born last year. Maybe it's a little bigger.
Right.
But yeah, $750 might be the like show price. You know how show prices are. Last one, unexpected winner. Hypoclown.
Winner, chicken dinner.
The male hypoclowns are up 35%.
So people are starting to see that DG is not all the shit that they thought, and that hypo is making a comeback. Jessica
and the female price is pretty stable. I think it went down a couple percentage, 3%.
But that's really good though for what's happening with all the other stuff.
Yeah, that's why I left it at the end. We're ending on a positive note.
Yeah. So if you love hypo like Jessica, and you have endured the DG of hypo,
and I like DG. It's just like when people are like, every combo should be DG. I just want to put a gun in my mouth and just end it because please don't do that. It's dumb.
Wait, put a gun in your mouth for what combo?
Just put DG in everything. People are like DG everything. I would rather die. Like I want a bunch of pale yellow things for the rest of my life. I don't fucking think so. Get the hell out of here. DG and some things. Yeah, I just thought this was crazy. And there were some crazy people last fall who were selling hypo clowns for $600.
I know. I definitely should have bought one.
Yeah.
You told me to buy one. I did not listen.
And then, I mean, there's not a ton of them, but people turned around and were like, okay, $1,200, $1,000, $1,500. And they sold them and they got the price because it's a cool combo. And if you have combo hypo girls that are cheap and you can't sell right now anyway, and combo clown girls, you can make a cool looking set of double heads, one for the other, visuals, one for the other, that are cool. And they're not DG clown prices. And I did check DG clown, but like there's nothing to say. It's a bunch have sold for $10,000, $11,000, right?
Right.
And I think one sold in Q1 for about that price, but I know that person probably got like a behind the scenes discount because there's other ones still up for sale for $7,000. Right.
Right.
So
that's hard. That's the hardest thing about this is that I feel like the prices that are happening behind the scenes aren't necessarily what's actually being put up.
Yeah, not at all. Take off 30%.
So have we
to me
heard or found out yet if the new owners are going to be offering any kind of statistics like the kind that you're making on your own?
I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, he was on Wally's live last night.
I saw that. Yeah. Did you not watch it?
No, I've been doing this crap.
Well, yeah, that's understandable. There wasn't any information that we hadn't already heard.
Oh, on Wally's?
Yeah, it was nice to see his face and it was nice to talk to him, and like he interacted with the chat some and just kind of clarified everything. But I feel like anybody that like read the article or has been following it could have gotten that information already. So it wasn't like new information, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Marshall says DG Clown is way out of whack compared to double heads. Right. If you can buy a double head female for $400.
Yeah, why is it 10 grand for a
right? It really needs to come down to 3 to 5 to me, a male price, to make it with no other genes, not het for something else. And I think it will if some of them are up there for 7 and it's just sitting, right? So I don't know. It is not nice looking. I just don't know if the price makes sense. Not in charge though. No fiduciary duty. Do not listen to me or Jana. Ever.
Never listen to Jana. Always listen to Jessica.
Don't.
Jessica is always right, guys.
Literally
I have learned this the hard way so many times.
Don't listen to me.
For the last 2 or 3 years, DG sucks ass. Get into hypo.
You just need to get into what you like, I think is the real answer. And if people were getting into this, getting into DG because they thought it was the investment choice and it was the future, then you didn't really like it, did you? John Feely says most visual DG clowns at shows are 7.5 now. Good. They need to come down. 2K. To me. All right, this is a weird little PowerPoint I made for fun. Oh, we love PowerPoints here. Tell me, Jana.
Wow, Dylan. Harsh. That one burned a little. I'm not going to lie.
All right, this is a cool graph from 2010. Everybody knows how, people, Jana and his eyes age are, post 2008 housing crisis refugees that have been just milling around, economically destitute.
Whatever. Post 2008 housing crisis, I made out good. I bought a house then and got the $8,000 credit. I did.
That's because you had a husband who had money.
Oh, fuck you, motherfucker. I had a job at the time. Like, I contributed.
Okay, good job.
So,
being contributing. I haven't contributed anything to my husband this time around.
No, I worked full time. Full time. Thank you, bitch. Until we had our kids.
All right, let's look at this graph now that we've had a life story.
No,
so this was like an idea of like what happens when people are overly enthusiastic about an investment, and so you get the cash flow positive house and then a rental break even, and then you have like the market price oscillating around like the rental price or people's buy it now price. But then you have like an overly enthusiastic period where people are like, we should invest, and so the enthusiasm leads to greed, and there's a peak, and then people are like, oh, it'll go down a little bit, and then we'll have like a soft landing.
Yeah,
soft landing, which will cause like a bear rally. And then they're like, fuck. And this is from the vlog I got it from. This was from 2010. We're like in the between the fear and capitulation part. I don't know where
you skipped ahead, Jessica. I think you're in the despair.
No, I'm just sad for other personal reasons this week. So I don't think this actually has anything to do with the ball by the market, right? Really, because we don't ride some sort of appreciation curve like a house does or whatever with ball pythons. We ride the depreciation curve, which is different. So while there's like some allegories here you can extrapolate, it's still fundamentally different. So we could be on like the downward of a little bubble, but it's not like this because there's no appreciation in snake morphs. Okay, here's this crap. People are talking a lot about like buying snakes on sale right now. On sale. Hard quotes.
Wow, knife in the hand. That's hardcore, Jess.
Well, that's called catching the falling knife. It's a investment phrase where you're trying to buy the dip.
Okay, so is D's Balls talking about Jessica? Because
it could be anybody.
I don't think that would be me. Because that would not earn me any ball pythons. I can tell you that.
I think he's talking about me. I need to sell some balls before any of this gets going. All right, let's focus, Jana. Before I forget. So catching a falling knife is where someone's trying to buy the dip and they buy it here. And they think like, oh, we've bottomed out. So since the asset's going to appreciate again, I'm buying the bottom. But you end up buying somewhere random and you still have more to lose. People were doing that in the housing market because they're like, surely 15% sale is the bottom, right? You don't know where the dip is until afterward. That's what's cool about hindsight. So there's no sale currently, even though prices are dropping. Prices are dropping. You don't know where the bottom of that price is. And since we all know ball pythons depreciate anyway, they will always continue to drop. This is just the new price. Even if there's like minor oscillations as interest goes up and down, that's the price. There's no sale. So you shouldn't be like, man, that's a great deal. I need to buy it because it's a great deal. I reject that wholeheartedly.
Oh my gosh, whenever I say, but it's a great deal, Jessica, she's like, then it's the wrong thing to do.
So I don't think it's you should buy because you want to get a great deal. You're buying because you're dollar cost averaging. You're putting money into the and this is, you know, a creative use of that term and phrase or whatever. But you're buying breeding animals at a lower cost now when you bought them at a higher cost previously, and you're still worried about the production, not necessarily the appreciation or depreciation of the particular asset. Right, Jana?
Totally. Jamie said that we are giving him a complex about his new DG clown, and
you shouldn't. If you like it, it's for you to enjoy.
No, fuck that. Don't buy really high investment quality animals before you watch the stonks.
Why is my V delayed?
It's super delayed.
It keeps like
really bad,
catching up and then uncatching up. Let me remove myself for a second for fun.
Oh no, she's running away, guys. It's just me. What are we gonna do?
Does it work better now?
Yeah, it does, but I don't like it when I'm on top.
All right, well, remove yourself. Shannon doesn't like to be on top. She's a power bottom.
So
I know. It's delayed again, motherfucker. Oh well, just don't look at my face. It's easy. So, and we're talking about this in terms of stocks, but it's not really fair because are ball python stocks? The answer is fucking no. Of course they're not. They're much more like a cow, you know, and maybe like a dividend stock where the price is a dividend stock. The price is stable, but they pay dividends out, so it's not a growth stock. But a cow, you buy it at a certain age, it makes milk and baby cows. But the cow itself doesn't necessarily appreciate that much. It actually depreciates as it gets older and has less potential for cow or milk. So that's what your snake is like. Except there's like a speculation portion to its price, which I guess some cows are like that. But because it has ongoing expenses, but has production, it's much more like a livestock animal than it is a paper asset or even a house. So let's look at some like funny little curves I wrote. This would be like a normal Morphe price curve. Values on the y-axis and time is on the x-axis. The normal one is it starts out really expensive and goes down pretty fast. And then whenever it hits somewhere around the pet price, which is hopefully between the cost of production and then whatever you can extract from a pet person, it just sort of oscillates around in there based on interest and wider economic factors. This one's okay. And this is true for corn snakes and crested geckos and whatever, as long as it's a new morph. And sometimes the little oscillations can be above, way above the cost of production, even though it's still a pet. It's like a hog nose right now, right? But they're just going to oscillate as interest wanes. The best case scenario is a long trail during the breeder speculation phase so that people can get in here and still make money and get in here and still make money and get in here and still make money. So like strangers and palmettos, if you slow down the like breeding, get a longer breeder hobbyist speculation time before it falls into pet time. This is ideal. People do stuff to protect this. And I think they should. That's fine. Well, whatever. Ready?
I'm not ready. I am lost in the comments and the discussion that's happening there about Blade.
Okay.
Blade and I have a love-hate relationship. Mostly hate.
Yeah. So this is the bad one where like the breeder speculation phase happens the way it should, but then like the price falls below the cost of production. So there might be interest in it as a pet, but not enough to keep it above the cost of production for the average producer, not for like a high volume producer. So that's kind of where we are now. Too many low-end ball pythons have been produced. They're forcing the prices below the cost of production. There are way too many of them.
That's because like all the baby boomers came in and we're all like doing non-recessive projects. And so the amount of like pet snakes on the market has like exploded, which is why there's 50K on there. But if you put in any kind of recessive or like the really good stuff, the number of animals for sale on Morph Market is actually not that significant.
I almost kind of disagree.
You always disagree, bitch.
I think some people were doing it okay, but like the intro breeder animals have fallen into pet categories. So that's what I'm saying. Like multi-gene het desert ghost females are a pet now, apparently. Multi-gene het clown females are a pet now, apparently. Like there's no middle market anymore, and so everything has slid down into like the shitter.
The shitter.
Which, if you could get $200 for them, that's above the cost of most people's production.
Correct.
But that pushes down the price of literally everything else too. So the only way any of this continues to work is if people come in and buy lots of happy pets at whatever price they are to prop up the like paycheck breeder, intro level breeder,
Yeah, but this is where
market.
Like the new Morph Market feature of connecting breeders with wholesalers is really going to benefit everyone, because we can get those wholesale animals off of Morph Market into like, pet stores and other things. And so it will, I don't know, it will clear out some of the riffraff.
I hope so. I don't know what else to tell you. Otherwise, we would all just have to take a break next year and not breed. There's 41,000 currently Morph Market, which we're going down, so that's good. Ball pythons in Canada and USA.
Can I address the comments?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Will, you're making my brain hurt. A krypton is a double het animal that makes a visual cryptic, but it is het clown, het cryptic, if that makes sense. It is not, there are not two lines, there are not two versions. Just some people say krypton as like a visual. It's just like with a candino and albino. Like your candino is actually not a visual, it's a double het, but it makes a visual, if that makes sense. But you're making my head hurt. Jessica, you can clean that up if I said it badly.
Yeah, you said it right. There's a cryptic, which is two copies of the cryptic gene, and then a krypton, which is one copy of cryptic and one copy of clown, which happens to be allelic. So Jason May asks, so are they co-dominant? Nothing is really co-dominant, because it's all incomplete dominant, but incomplete dominant and co-dominant have more to do with how they react to each other than to something else. So yes, they're incomplete dominant to each other, but they're recessive to the wild type mutation, or to the wild type allele. Should you buy a ball python, Jana? I think you're muted.
Sorry, I was sneezing and blowing my nose. No one needs to hear that. No, you should not be buying ball pythons right now. I mean, unless you have like a really awesome collection and like visual female clowns right now. If you take on the risk of buying an adult because of biosecurity reasons, some of us don't choose to do that. But if you're comfortable with that, right now you can buy some pretty bitchin' adult female visuals. And if you have really bitchin' adult males, then the turnaround for you could be worthwhile. But in general, for the vast majority of us, you should not be buying snakes right now.
I disagree, Jana. It's so funny.
Why the fuck does she always disagree with me?
Here's my take.
Said yes, and she probably had a freaking slide in there that said no, just so she could disagree with me.
Well, I think you're right. Obviously, you could buy older stuff, but I just think you should buy stuff because you want it. Like, who gives a shit what it costs? You just like snakes, right? You don't care.
Buy all the snakes.
You should buy snakes because you want them and you want to breed them, or they fit your projects. You shouldn't be worrying about where the price is, because you might not be breeding it till next year or 2 years from now or whatever. But I just want to like reinforce, you shouldn't be buying it because you think it's cheap. What the fuck is that ever? Buy it because you like it. You want to look at it for the next 30 years, then buy it. Or the next 5 years. Go buy hypo for $100 on somebody's table. It's gonna look hot the whole time you have it and can't sell it
forever. Yep.
Right.
Just it's gonna look hot in your bin forever.
Or buy DG, or DG Clown. Like, it doesn't matter. But I think this weird insistence that like somehow everything's gonna turn around in 3 months. I've heard 3 months. I've heard 6 months. No, this is the price. We're hitting the pet price sort of trajectory at this point. And if you want to stay up in the like breeder speculation phase, obviously you're going to need to be reinvesting large percentages of what you earn so you can buy like more and more complex combos. Everybody understands that. That's fine, totally natural, normal. But if your cost of production is hundreds of dollars ahead, your byproduct will be a major loser for you.
Jeez, so like hundreds of dollars ahead. Like even a visual pied is like what, like $250 right now.
Well, some people's are that much. Some people have employees
Yikes.
And large rents and facilities, and they don't breed any of their own rats. So, like, I'm saying, think about what profitability is to your setup. If it's in your house, if you rent a space, if you own a building, look at your portfolio and try to make it profitable. You should know your cost of production and then adjust morph and or species to find the margin. There's margins even in a $50 ball python if the scale is large enough, frankly. So you can still do anywhere on the price bracket, but it's about like fighting for the margin. So that's why I'm like, it's all fine, right? It's all fine. You can do high end, you can do pet, you can do middle. I don't care.
Oh, Leviathan is late. They missed us talking crap about him.
Yes. But to me, like, this is like the right time to pick up a different species. And I know people don't want to because they just want to do ball pythons. But then you can vend shows you wouldn't normally have access to. You would try something else, just something new. You would bring a different kind of client to your table at a show. You might learn different kinds of things about husbandry that would like teach you other things to inform the ball pythons. I don't think people should get out of ball pythons ever, because I think you obviously liked them to begin with, right?
Right.
Don't you like them?
But diversify a little, maybe.
Yes.
If you want to make money.
Or get a table at a show.
Yeah.
Because lots of shows
won't take any more ball
pythons breeders. So that's why I have a hognose and a leopard gecko. Because maybe it shouldn't like ruin your life to come keep this new species. Like, you shouldn't be selling like ostriches, right? It can't be completely different. But if you want to run a couple of something else,
baby goats at the reptile shows? Come on.
Maybe,
that was my new plan.
You could. They're cute. That's what I think.
Leviathan, I was just teasing because we were talking about Sunset looking like dog crap earlier and you missed it.
What is up with this delay? It's weird because it's not a permanent delay. Like,
it keeps
catches
glitching.
up.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fuck it. All right. Let's do our second ad break, Jana.
I'm gonna sneeze first.
Okay. Yeah, I have always run multiple species, so it's not weird to me to say that I think people should do that. But it like seems more obvious now that you should run multiple species. Like, multiple species are fun. Just like keep it biosecurity, but like rock whatever else you're interested in too. Are you still mute? Yeah. You don't have to, but you can give it a try. What's all this?
Stoneage ball pythons. Still doing his sensor push giveaway. He's at almost 1,000. So we're getting close to the giveaway. So if you haven't, please go follow his ball python only account. It is a much better place to see what's actually happening with Stoneage and snakes rather than his viral account that can have all kinds of things on it, all kinds of content. So please go and follow that. And we're grateful that you sponsor the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Who's this guy?
Who's this guy? Andy, Powerhouse Pythons, go for Coco. He is now the Pacific Northwest distributor. Hopefully I will be touching bases with him. There's another picture, isn't there? Can you do like the giant stack picture?
I know. Where is it? Did he delete it?
No, it's with that same one. You're just on the wrong. There's two pictures in that post. Just click. There you go. Anyway, I thought that was a cool.
So he's selling it at Packmars.
Yes, he'll be selling it at all the reptile shows he's doing in this area. Also, he is located in Tacoma. So if you are local to him, you can message him and schedule like a meetup to pick some up. I'm really excited. I am going to meet up with him hopefully in the next week or so and get some of that. So if you guys want to hear like some kind of review and comparison to the major brands to go for Coco, just comment below because Jessica thinks I'm stupid and no one wants to hear about it.
What?
Oh my gosh, we lost her.
I'm trying to fix my delay.
Well, we don't do it right while you're talking.
No, I'll do it anyway.
So Powerhouse Pythons, he also has lots of other cool projects. He has some girls that are close to Lane, so make sure you're following them. And thank you for sponsoring the podcast.
Thank you. What's this one?
This one, Chris, are you still in the comments? He was here earlier. He is still doing his 60% off shipping all through April on any 2022 baby. If you buy 2 babies from him, you get free shipping. And the 60% off, just to clarify, is on the shipping price, not the animal price. So he has lots of different species. So if this Stonks report has made you feel sad about your ball python collection, hit up Chris. Don't be sad. Hit up Chris and get into something else as well. And then your heart will feel happy again.
Mm-hmm. I'm delayed again. Is my audio delayed or just the video?
Just the video.
Okay. Motherfucker.
So thank you, Chris. And if you're looking to diversify your collection, he's your man.
All right. Let's do Fort Worth update. And then we'll finish up this party. So my neighbors were a tortoise and turtle seller and a mantis seller. So that was cool. I was into it because then it's like not snakes like on my row.
Okay.
Love it. 10 out of 10. What's with the delay?
The delay is bad.
It is distracting me so much. If I left you alone for like
you think I could handle it? 2
minutes?
I don't know, guys. Can you help me out? Can I be alone in a room by myself? I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. It's fine.
I'll restart the computer.
Okay. She's gonna.
Yeah, just tell us like a porno story or whatever for the stepmom
story. No, I think we should go back and hit on Dee's balls saying that that's not what he heard. Me being a power bottom. How is that possible? Are you gonna go away or am I gonna?
I'm waiting for
shit.
Give me. All right. You talk. I'll be right back.
All right. Bye.
All right.
Thanks, Jessica, for taking the time to do sexy spreadsheets. Dee's balls. There you are, you jackass. Power bottom. I don't know. I've never called myself that. I think that was a Jessica-ism. That's definitely not how I see myself. That's not what you heard either. Wow, what are you guys hearing? I do tell, because apparently I need to be told. Anyway, so how many of you, after seeing the trends in the industry that just do ball pythons, are thinking about adding and diversifying the reptiles that you do keep and breed and sell, especially those in the South? Like Jessica moved to the South, and up here in the Pacific Northwest, it's not really a problem getting into shows if you just have ball pythons. But I know in the South, like the ball python list is closed. And so you have to diversify if you want to be able to get into any of those shows. Or if you do keep multiple species, comment below. I have my king snakes, but I don't feel like that counts as a diversified collection at all. I don't know. We'll see what I'll get into. Jessica keeps trying to talk me into some boas. So you need more lizards. The rhino iguana. How big do those get? Florida king snakes are freaking awesome. I have Cal Kings, and they are not as awesome as Florida's. Her name is escaping me, but there's a breeder, and she does like the mosaics and stuff, and they're so gorgeous.
Hello.
Hello. Are you all better?
I don't know.
We'll see.
Ammo, it only does it here. So you are power bottom, right?
Everybody keeps saying I'm power bottom. What does that mean?
You're bottom, but you're like.
That's like power bottom, like a submissive, like. Or do you mean like physically I like to be on the bottom?
I mean, you might physically look. It's still delayed.
It is still delayed. Well, maybe there's like people outside your house fucking with your internet again.
It's not my internet. I have gig internet. It's something, my phone or something.
So Ozzy has orange stream boas. I'm confused.
No, he doesn't even have boas. He sold out. Bless you. Jana's a mess. We're a mess.
Oh, right. Are we disappointed that Jessica's back? Doing hoggies too, but not a new development. Yeah, I've looked into hoggies, but like, I don't know. I have like so much on my plate. It feels wrong to take on additional species when you're, I don't know, kind of coasting with species you have.
All right. Are you ready?
Damn, best behavior. Apparently, people have to be on their best behavior when you're back. You guys, she writes smut. Why do you have to be on your best behavior with her? She's more dirty than I am. She's just not loud about it.
Yeah.
Because she's married, and I'm not. I wasn't loud about it when I was married. But yeah, she's definitely way more dirty than me, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there's even some anime porn happening over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm definitely not into anime porn. Except
yes,
for that one
she
guy.
Just doesn't know
Except for that one guy you sent me. That was hot.
That was Kayla, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that was Jupe Jupe. Sorry, guys. But that was hot as hell.
So let's do Fort Worth so we can finish up this weird delayed shit show. So I brought 45 baby corn snakes, 4 2021 corn snakes, and 10 baby boas. And I sold 7 baby boas, 3 baby corn snakes, and 1 subadult. So it was basically mid. And everyone
as good as you expected to do.
And everyone I talked to was like, yeah, it was okay. Like, I covered expenses, made a little bit more. And I'm like, are they normally like this? And they're like, nah, this is pretty good. Yeah, it's fine. And I'm like, well, I guess my biggest issue with it isn't that it was fine. It's just that, like, shows shouldn't be fine. They should be so rare and special in your region that, like, every vendor does pretty good. Not perfect all the time, but if you have 20 shows in a region, so you drive 4 hours so you can see 3 shows, they're not rare nor special. So why would anybody want to go to any one show? The only reason the Pacific Northwest shows do good is because there's only 4. And now they're adding more. So
well, there's 4 in like a 3-state region. So
that's what I'm saying. That's why they do
so it's
good.
like this huge region, whereas in the South there's like every city has a show, and that's not how it is here. Also, the market here in the Pacific Northwest, I feel like, is a little bit behind the market of the rest of the world. Like, there's a delay. So like when things got really expensive during the like COVID baby boom, things were still pretty cheap locally. And so it took it a while to catch up. So you could totally buy things locally and flip them, which is slightly frowned upon by some people, but you could buy them locally because people don't like to ship. that don't have experience, and then you could list them on Morph Market and sell them for like twice as much. Just like this weird enigma bubble area, and I'm not sad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can always turn over a Craigslist person no matter where you are and flip them onto Morph Market if you wanted to. I just think there's like a level of affluence in the Pacific Northwest. You know, it's much richer people, to be honest,
Right.
compared
Yeah.
to middle of nowhere Oklahoma.
It's like little California economy wise.
Right. So they're used to be like, oh, $400 pet with a $400 enclosure. Whatever.
Yeah, like that's like pet people are like, cool.
Right.
Like they'll buy $600 or $800. Like I had a friend that came up and vetted with me, and she had a freeway male, I think, and it was like $1,000 or $1,200. And this girl was like, I just want like the bitchinest snake here. And you know, she had her like daddy or her pimp daddy, I'm not really sure. And you know, he pulls out this huge wad of cash and was just like, give her whatever she wants, and starts peeling off, you know, $100 bills. That's kind of how it is here. Exotic Art Reptiles said they just moved to the Pacific Northwest, and there are 2 shows in one weekend. They're talking about in May. I have lots of feelings about that, actually. I don't know. I don't know.
Try not to fuck this up.
Yeah, exactly. So there is one like show promoter, Pac Northwest, and they usually do for a year, and theirs are usually 2-day shows. And then there's another smaller show promoter that they do 2 to 3 a year, and they're usually like a Saturday show. And so the bigger show has decided that they are going to compete with that other person, and so they made a new show the same weekends as the other show, but they made them 2 days and in a different location. So take that how you will. Morally decide how you feel about that. I'm still wrestling with how I feel about it, because the bigger show, I prefer it. But we're just like grateful when there is shows around here. So I don't know, I feel like it could have been done more professionally or with more integrity, but also the need for more shows that are 2-day and not 1-day is needed. But did we need to do it the same weekend? I don't think we did. So.
I don't think you need more shows now. I think you feel like you do, but I'm telling you, you don't want more shows. You want
I didn't want them to add 2 more shows
on top of the other people's shows.
On top of the other people's shows. I just wanted that other promoter to do their shows as 2-day shows instead of 1-day shows. I didn't think we needed any additional shows, and we certainly don't need an additional show the same weekend or even the same month, because around here, that's not how the shows work. Like, we just have a few, and people drive in from all over. Some people drive up to 8 hours to come to our shows because they are so infrequent that it becomes like a weekend trip for some people.
What if I like wear a mask and then you can't tell that I'm not moving?
It's fine. No one's looking at us anyway.
Good. Drive your cars and clean your tubs, everybody. Stop looking. I don't know the answer, Jana.
Oh, is there punishment happening, Dylan? I hadn't heard about that. Anyway, I don't want to talk crap because I'll get banned from the show I actually need to be a part of. But also, I'm still not quite sure how I feel about that.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I'm not saying shit. I'm not even in the show market.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely am struggling hard with which show to support, because the one that's scheduled a 2-day show is literally in my backyard, and the other one is like 4 hours away, and maybe 3 hours away, but it's only a 1-day show. So I can travel 3 hours away for a 1-day show, or I can travel 15 minutes to a 2-day show, but I'll feel dirty when I do it. So like I said, I'm still like, I have not committed to either show. Maybe I'll just skip May and see how it shakes
You haven't
out.
committed.
I have not. Normally I have my shows paid up through like
6 months or something.
August. Yeah, usually it's about 6 months in advance. I have like I'm signed up for shows. Not that we need to, like here they don't really sell out vendors. But
I heard they sold out the last one. Eventually,
there was yeah, so right at the end, but I had already booked my table like way in advance. They had said, I think it was more like a hurry, we're almost full, trying to like get the stragglers to like let them know who was coming. I don't think the space was sold out. But anyway, so that's a fun little moral dilemma that we're dealing with here in the Pacific Northwest. Don't I feel dirty regardless? I mean, like I always feel dirty, but I don't usually include that in business ventures.
I wish my thing wasn't weird. That's what I wish.
It's very distracting. I can
tell.
It's
distracting to me, and I am me.
No, as I'm saying, you're totally acting like Jana right now. And since
I'm like,
spot, I'm like
so
feeling super weird, like Jessica. Like we switched personalities for a second.
Well, let's go back. So I made $11.80 at the show. So only cheap boas, some expensive corn snakes. I just came back with a lot of $40 corn snakes. So
so did you made back your table and your hotel room, basically?
Yeah.
So you broke even.
I find that unacceptable.
Jana. That is absolutely unacceptable. I mean, it's less unacceptable than
not breaking. Yeah.
But that's not something I want to invest my time and energy.
Right. I had a terrible weekend, did all this stuff. Hotel was, I could have spent less on the hotel. We talked about the bed bug problem, right?
Yeah. How was your hotel?
It was very nice. And I was downtown, so I could walk around and do stuff. So like if I wasn't alone, it would have been fun. It would have been like a fun vacation or whatever. But I'm like alone downtown. Not too many homeless people, so that's pretty good. They probably kill them all or whatever.
She was alone, people. Somebody needs to help her solve that problem.
Like my husband?
Well, oh yeah, definitely your husband. So
yeah. Come on.
Everybody in the comments is talking about how that's marketing, and the way that he's doing it is he's trying to push out the other show and become the only show person. But the other thing is he didn't even put it under his umbrella, like the Pacific Northwest Reptile Show umbrella. He gave it another name. And for me, that was super weird. Like, why would you?
Is somebody else running it, but he's like, it's a subsidiary of him, but he doesn't do it?
I have no idea. Maybe I should ask. Maybe we should call him out and bring him on the show and see. And then I'll get banned from all reptile shows.
I know.
Near me.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it's an interesting conundrum. Like I can understand if he had put it under his umbrella because he tries or he offers, I guess, the opportunity to be an exclusive vendor with him. And so I could understand if like that was your motivation, is because the people who you've asked to be exclusive vendors with you say, well, I really need to do these other 3 shows because it's financially important to me. If he's trying to compete with that to keep his vendors exclusive, but he didn't give it the same name. So for me, that was confusing. And like it was his moral out and he didn't take it. So now I'm just like, I can't explain away your actions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, then the other thing is like, I'm totally going to get kicked out of his show. We'll see. Jeff, I love you. You're amazing. I love your shows. This just was very confusing and morally ambiguous to me, but definitely cutthroat business, sign of the economy, whatever, you do you. But for me, I would have felt better if it was under his name, and then I could have been like, oh, now I could be an exclusive vendor with him and still get the same number of shows in a year.
Mm-hmm. I think like when it was 4 shows per 6-month period within a 4-hour drive, that was a good amount for 3 metro areas or whatever, Portland, Tacoma, and Seattle. That is correct amount. The stuff that happens in the South, I think Brian said he had, where was it? He said like he could drive in 2 hours and get like 24 shows a year. So that'd be 12.
What?
Yeah, fuck that.
Jeez, that's 2 a month. how are you supposed to make any money in, like, if it's not your full-time job? That sounds like a full-time job.
They don't. Every time I talk to vendors, they're like, yeah, one time I had a good show and I sold 8 snakes. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm sorry, what? I don't care how much the snakes were. You're there for like volume, right? So like they're all habituated to selling 1 or 2 snakes a show for $300 each, covering their table, covering their gas, and like making it like a weekend socialization event. They're habituated to that so bad they've drunk
But
the
that's like,
Kool-Aid.
they don't see that they're actually spending more money than they're making.
Right, all of them.
All of them. Every vendor. Yes.
The big vendors sell more, I'm sure, because they buy 16 tables. And so that's why they put like toys and some cocoa bark, whatever. And they're like, okay, I'll make a couple $100 profit on this other stuff. And I'll sell 1 snake per show, or maybe 2 or 3. And then they're like, well, sometimes I went for 8 shows and sold 0 snakes. And you're like, why are you still going to shows? Like the whole South. I love all of them. Mickey's great. Sean's great. The Fort Worth show the Reptile show was run well. There's just too many shows. There's no excitement. Nobody cares. Why the fuck would they want to buy something if there's a show in 1 month, 2 weeks?
Correct. And I think that's where our area does it correctly, is that
right. That's the only reason
people travel to the show because they're so excited, because it's every 3 months. And so I think that
keep it
that
way.
Is perfect.
Keep it that way, Jana.
Yeah. And those shows don't have rock walls, though. Yeah, I know. That's my kid's biggest complaint about the one-day shows, because she lives on those rock walls. Mm-hmm. And they know her now, so they just let her climb for free, which I think is crap. I'm like, charge her. She has money. But yeah, there is a rock wall, which is pretty fun.
So I sold $11.80, but I spent total $11.07.85 with 22 cents a mile mileage, 100 for food. I had 1 table electricity and $34 of credit card processing fee, and then an expensive hotel. So I profited $72.15. Probably profited some mites, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Profited some mites.
So like I left and I was like, they would let people sign up for the next one. I didn't sign up. I just left. I could still do it, but I was just like, I could sit at home and take a shit and sell a snake on Wharf Market and make $72.15 profit, right? Because this doesn't include my like expenses producing those snakes. Yes, it like shoved them out the door, but who cares if you just lose money going to shows? It's never worth it. I'd rather feed them to Crebos than fucking pretend like this is a good idea. That's not a good idea. Best part, as always, meeting people, our beautiful listeners. Dungeon Witch. Was that his name?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be Dungeon Warlock? Although I'm not hating, you can identify however you want.
Yeah, he could be
I'm
a witch.
just saying that, like,
I don't even know his pronouns.
I would like to be a warlock more than a witch. I think that sounds way better.
Yeah. Imagine if you had a hanging Chad between your legs. Wouldn't that be fun? What would we do with that?
We would have way too much fun. I would never leave the house.
You just like play with it all day, like
that's right. I don't know how they get anything done.
That's why they don't get anything done.
But I definitely think Angel and Dylan, like, having an NARBC in the Pacific Northwest like once a year would be rad as fuck. It would be pretty cool if we could draw some national attention up to this area, because there are incredible breeders that travel to the national shows that they don't get the love back, if that makes sense. And so I would love to see that. I know that people are starting to know our secret that shit's good up here and that our shows do really well, because we have people now that are flying in, like JMG flies in and brings hognose, because we don't really have a hognose specific vendor up here. And so there's just like other people that have flown in and done really well, because we have such a limited selection of different things. Obviously ball pythons are covered, guys. But other species, like, we do see people coming in and
yeah, JMG's been coming back a lot. He must be happy.
He's been to every single one, lately. So I think of the Pac Northwest ones. Right. So I think that he'll be a regular from now on. But he always like standing room only around his table, like 3 people deep. He always does better. He does way fucking better than I do at the shows, but I'm not complaining. I do fine.
Right.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it progresses, because it is an enigma right now that our shows do really well.
It's not an enigma. I literally think it's the number of shows.
Do you feel like disappointed now that you're in the South and you have to go to the shows that are like watered down? Does it feel like something you'll continue to do?
I hate shows in general.
I know you already hated them, and then if
so
you're
like
not
it might
any
make
money,
me not want to do them.
Right.
Here's like it's always been my dream to like wholesale to a friend, not to a wholesaler, but just be like, here's a bunch of corn snakes, baby ball pythons, whatever. I know you're not disgusting. Take 50, sell them at your store or on your table, and then I'll just focus on retail online sales. That would be fine. So the Oklahoma City shows are so far still. I skipped the one the week before. Remember, I didn't do it. I heard it was busier, but I'm like, the first one was a cemetery of busyness. Okay, so like busier doesn't.
Wait, what did they describe that as busier? The one you were at, like, because how they quantify things? Because you were like, oh, there's going to be 12,000 through the door, and for me, that's huge. But is it
right?
Like
I think there was 12,000 through the door, like the last time. Right. It was the. So since it's downtown, you could have like walking traffic. It was very, like the confused family that doesn't know why they showed up there.
Yeah, they just like
they're like, I didn't know.
Stumbled in, and then they're like, holy shit! How did I walk up with 3 new reptiles when I didn't even want a reptile?
Right. But a lot of those people weren't buying. It's one of those shows where like, you can have a good door, but people don't have money. That's been apparently every show for the last 6 months. Good, okay door or terrible door, but like no money. They're there for supplies. They're there for some crickets and to look around and maybe buy some decor. So you're like, okay, I did good because I sold a lot of animals and covered expenses, but the expenses of the trip were too expensive and it's too far away to be convenient.
And the bed bugs. So yeah, Supreme Geckos wants to know, Jessica, why do you hate shows? If you were a dedicated, loyal listener, I feel like you would know the answer to this.
Yeah, it's all in the old stuff. I hate shows because I'm very interested in biosecurity. So when people are disrespectful of me and my animals and like lay on my table, kids, they're dumb. So they don't know better.
Pet Burmese python that's not even a vendor, laying them across all your bins.
Yeah, people with their like pets.
Take a picture.
They're laying them on your table, letting them go through your stuff. The constant like battling mites on the way home. And now I have geckos, so like, what if I like accidentally fipronil the air too much and then they all OD and die? So like, I would love shows if people were respectful. Like, let's learn some respect. I'm gonna use the hand to pimp hand.
I was just teasing you.
Yeah.
That was a tease. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. That's just kind of how I am.
I like talking to people. I like clean, tidy, like coherent vendors as neighbors. Like all that's great. It makes a sense of community. But the community like disintegrates into like a pile of sadness when somebody lays their disgusting, like crusty iguana deli cup on my table as they like browse something else, and they're like, it's just like a residue of crypto
that are going through a hard time and irresponsibly bring their entire collection that's full of mites when they know better and they're selling them to the general public. That kind of stuff happens at our shows and it's really frustrating.
Yeah, or the show promoters allow a vendor to come back who's regularly sold dead animals in the deli cups. And I didn't stutter. Sold dead animals. Dead. They're dead on the table.
And someone bought them?
No, but you know what I mean. They're trying to sell dead animals. They know their stock so poorly that they have displayed dead and dying animals. So until someone points it out. So if they should be instant ban, permaban, fuck you.
That would be nice to see more of that from the show promoters being like, I don't know, like a warning and then you're gone, you know, like, come on, people. Like there should just be a standard of care, a standard of
right.
health.
And NARBC has that standard, right? But they don't do a perfect job either because we listen to, and it's not their fault. There's a lot of vendors. Eileen got that fungus encrusted, like the sibling of the fungus encrusted dragon snake at Tenley. So like, how did that pass the vet certificate?
Exactly.
It's just a number problem.
Yes,
but like,
for sure,
that vendor needs to be fucking banned forever.
Dylan, how are you spraying your shit? Jeff yells at me every time I try it. I don't know. Like he just appears like a genie out of nowhere. I can look around and be all like, it's totally fine. I'm just going to spray real quick. And then Jeff will pop out and he'll be like,
surprise,
motherfucker. Kill all the bug people. And I'm like, there's literally an earring person next to me. I don't think she cares if we keep the bugs away. But no, I've tried twice and both times I've gotten yelled at. So maybe you just need to come over and I'll give you my stuff and you can spray it because you're good at it, apparently. I always get in trouble. Thus is the story of my life.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have signage, and sometimes it's kids, and kids are obnoxious, so they don't know better. But it just doesn't make me feel safe to be there when people are so disrespectful of your space, and they don't even know why. Like, I had somebody for the first time like refuse to put on gloves, and I'm like, "See you later, bud." He's like, "I did hand sanitizer. Why do I need to do gloves too?" And I'm like, "Because I said so."
Because they're my animals, so either you put on gloves or you walk away.
Right, so he walked away. That was the first time. I was like, okay, I don't give a shit. You know, they don't care. But the longer I do it, the more it's just like, I don't know. How much do I have to do to make it safe? And when other people aren't helping me make it safe, like the show promoter sometimes, neighbors sometimes. That's why I was like pleased with my neighbors. A very clean mantis breeder and then a turtle person who were not the same kinds of species. Their turtles weren't running around the neighborhood. They don't have snake mites. And the turtle sort of sucked over kids to be pet, and then they would be all petted out by the time they got to my table. And I'm like, so that was cool. I can't abide a universe where like you're like, man, I barely broke even. Great job, everybody. You know,
if I just break
which is
even,
apparently the South,
then I'm pretty much like not gonna keep going. Like I've never had a show where I was even close to the break even number. I've always, even like the one day shows that I drive down to Portland for, like I have to hit a certain number or it's not worth my time.
Well, I think with my first back north, I did 1,300 or something, and I was disappointed by that. And I didn't have hotel or because I could go home every night, which made it even better. But I was still disappointed by that because to me, it's a huge amount of labor and liability for the animals. They could not just get mites or whatever. They could escape, you know, or get overheated in the car. You're putting a lot of animals at risk. You're having to re-quarantine them on the way back. And if you're not being paid for that time.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how loud are my kids right now?
Tumultuous school bus.
Okay, hang on.
It's not that bad. I don't know. I am being a little bit of a complainer. I was just hoping this one would be better. Like, even if I didn't make that much money, if I could have moved like volume, like if it was truly a pet show, I would have been like, yay. Like I moved $30, $40 snakes and a bunch of low-end ball pythons. It was not a show like that for me. So I don't know, Jana.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with Supreme Geckos. I love shows. For me, shows are what like refills my cup for like the boring times in the breeding seasons, or like when you don't want to clean shit for the 1,000th time that week or that month. And going to shows like excites me for the hobby, and I like need that more than like the biosecurity thing doesn't take away more energy than I'm getting from the show, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I hate shows.
Whereas for you, I feel like it's a negative return emotionally and psychologically, and then apparently financially.
I would. Here's how I would love to do shows: like bring no animals, set up a table with a whole back rack, banner or whatever, and just talk to people. Just be like, "Hey, do you want to talk about corn snakes? I love corn snakes. Let's talk about it for the next 4 hours." Sounds great. Like I would still go. It would still cost me money, but I'd probably still like break even because I wasn't losing money like torturing animals by like bringing them. So you didn't sell any geckos, or you did sell geckos? I mean, and I wouldn't mind being like, oh, we talked about it before, like being like a supply vendor, but I would have to I would change my business, right? I'd have to be a cork vendor, right?
Yeah.
Do I want to be a
Richard,
cork
you
vendor?
should message me and tell me where you get your wholesale cork bark.
I think it's literally wholesalecorkbark.com. You can buy them in 36 or 48 pound units. I thought about it. I just like, do you want to be a cork seller, Jana, or do you want to be a ball python seller?
I'm okay with being all kinds of seller. Like we currently have I have a whole table that's stuffies. I mean, I freaking hate stuffed animals, and I sell them to other parents who probably also hate stuffed animals. And I'm fine with that. You know, like I said, most of the time my daughter's business does better than my business, and so if all I have right now to offer is ball pythons, and ball pythons aren't selling.
My new question: would you stop breeding ball pythons to be a supply seller, or breed them so little they basically don't matter to your business? Like, is it that amount of okay?
No, I mean, if I didn't have ball pythons, I wouldn't go to a show just to sell the other stuff, if that makes sense. Like, I have to have ball pythons to sell. That's why I'm going. So I wouldn't just go to sell the other stuff. I would continue to, like, if I run out of snakes to sell because I haven't bred this season, I would be like, yo, Jessica, let's wholesale some ball pythons. Okay.
But you would know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't go to sell snakes and sell whatever. Yeah. Because some people, like, most people who sell dry goods started out as some livestock and then added some dry goods to like even out sales. And they're just like, dry goods are easier.
How much PVC do you need? I have like 5 or 6 sheets in my storage unit that's just sitting.
We got the hookup.
I got the hookup. So if you need it, just let me know.
Right. I don't know. I don't know what to do. And then like the person across from me, this was really interesting. All of his signage was like frog, like dart frog stuff. But he had like, devolved into like a paraphernalia seller too. I didn't even see a dart frog on his table anywhere. He had 4 tables. It was like resin, glowy axolotls, different sort of fake gems, some toy. Like I didn't even see dart frogs anymore. So he had come from like dart frog guy to just accessories, to like accessories and stuff. And I was like, is he happy? Is he happy, Jana? I didn't ask him.
Are you happy? Are you happy with your life choices? And all I have never been
we're like,
unhappy.
I'm a trained scientist. I love providing great frogs. I didn't see a fucking frog on there, man. It was all just like stuff. And some of it was cool, but
but like right now the stuff is what's selling, not the animals. So
I know, but are we happy, Jana? We have to look inside of our hearts and be like, what are we doing?
Like I said, I wouldn't do a show if I didn't have ball pythons. I wouldn't do a show if I wasn't going to let kids hold my one show snake. Like for me, that's super important, is to be out in front of my booth. Normally I'm like kneeling down with kids and there's a line, and I'm exciting the next generation of reptile keepers. And for me, that's worth it. Obviously I'd like to break even and make money as well too, which I usually do. But like what really fills my cup is helping other people see how amazing reptiles are and how amazing keeping reptiles.
Question.
What?
Why don't you just do like programs for schools or Boys and Girls Club or Girl Scouts on weekends or whatever.
Because I'm not going to make money there as well.
I know, but like you could charge whatever the rate is, $200 or something, and do the program.
I would have to like do a bunch of free programs before I felt like legit enough to schedule a program. Because I mean,
I know.
let's face it, I'm not Emily at Snake Discovery.
I mean, you could be.
I don't know.
We'll get you some stilts.
I am definitely not supermodel material. Thank you. Barely basketball material.
I don't know. It's just been something I've been thinking about. Obviously, for years now, we've been complaining about shows and what shows mean and if they're safe and if they make sense. And they obviously do make sense a lot. But I think I don't know where I fit in the sort of, even from my own like ethical standpoint. I had a lot of people this time ask me like, are they in pain because they were curled up in like a deli? And I'm like, no, because this is like a resting position. But then you're like, I try to take them out. I'll try to water baby corn snakes at night. And I'm like, I don't know. They're not in pain, but is it their preferred modality for a weekend? No.
Yeah. How fun though would it be if we were at an ARBC and we had a table, a whole back rack table, and we were like, cooler full of drinks, just hanging out with our cameras up, and like people can come and hang out with us. We should just bring a couch rather than a table.
Yeah.
Come sit on our couch.
I don't know, like signed dildos or whatever that are like in teal color, and then you can just hand them out.
I need to make some like
donate
titty, those like titty tank tops that have like fake titties on them instead of your titties, and I could like sign those. It would be fun. Totally fun.
Yeah. Lou says Jessica's Battery Katrina shows Jana's Battery Church. Yeah,
that's not actually super accurate.
I mean, Jana wants to sleep the next day too, but I am like disappointed that I exist on this earth after a reptile show 99% of the time.
She wants to like end all be all after reptile show. So I'm a social introvert, whereas I don't think Jessica's a social introvert. You're just an introvert. So I go and I talk to like way too many people, and I get like maxed out on social interactions, but it feels like my passion cup for the industry, but my like people cup gets totally drained, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to somebody for like the next month. No people for like a month, but it feel like refills, like rejuvenates me in a way that's like me and my business, not necessarily like me as a person. No, I go home and like sleep for 2 days after a show.
So I wasn't even that tired after the show, which is probably because I wasn't talking to like anybody else. Like, if you've been to show with someone, sometimes you can talk to them and then talk to the customer.
Yeah.
So I would just sit and wait for somebody to come. So that was fine. I talked to the people next to me were Texas radiated tortoises. I think that's their business name. They were cool. They watched my table. I like ran off, got food or whatever. I don't know. I just like Sean Nealand. He retired, right? But he just lived in the middle of nowhere in fucking Utah. And once a week, he would drive down to the FedEx to drop off some corn snake boxes. And he made a living wage doing that. He didn't
wait, say that again. My kid was interrupting.
So VMS herps, he bred corn snakes mostly, but he also bred ball pythons and rosy boas and king snakes. And he had a website and he put them on Morph Market. And he just did that. He lived somewhere where the cost of living was cheap. And he drove to his FedEx hub once a week. It was on Wednesdays. Dropped off 20 boxes. And he just made a living wage that way. No shows. Took care of his own business. Seems fine. And they were corn snakes and king snakes, so they're $150 or whatever. So you can do it, clearly. That sounds like a peaceful life to me. Gentle.
I think like the hardest part about the shows these days for me is like I talk to all y'all online, and I know your little like your little sticker next to you with your name, and so either your face or your brand is there, and so it's like I know who all you are, and then you come at me in public and I'm supposed to know who the fuck you are. So I'm like, can everybody just wear like a little sign with their name and their little like picture, and then I'll know who everybody is. But I have people that come up to me, and obviously I've had conversations with a lot of them, and I'm in show mode. So like you could talk to me and I could have no idea who you were, even if I talked to you for hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so that part's hard because I think people are offended by that, but it's like, it's not personal. Like that's just literally blonde Jana. Like it's a different format. And so it's like transitioning that format into like real life. So if you're going to come talk to me, just be like, yo, this is who I am. And then we won't have a problem. You don't have to make me guess. Like,
Brian says the worst thing about a show is coming back behind for a week. I feel like it's not even a week. I feel like it's 2 weeks. Somehow you miss 2 days, but it causes like a cascade of events.
yes,
that turns into 2 weeks of like delayed water changes,
cleanings, like feeding. Everything is just fucked. Like, so the people that do it every 2 weeks, I'm like, literally, as soon as I've recovered, you want me to go and do it again? Like, everything's back on track finally. I like want to talk to people again, and then it's like another show. Like I could never do every 2 weeks. That would kill me.
And the people, this is a question I have because there's a lot of them down here. The like RV warriors that like literally go from show to show every 2 weeks or week and spend the night in the parking lot. Wally says, Jana, you nailed it. I hate meeting people in public not knowing who they are after chatting online with them for years. I know it makes you
like,
seem really dumb.
It makes you seem like the biggest airhead or like the biggest like I don't give a fuck about people, and it's not that at all. It's like I literally don't spend time staring at your face. I spend time staring at your name and words in a chat. You know, like how am I supposed to like correlate? Like you guys all see my face every week, and I post my face a lot on my Instagram, whereas a lot of people who are in the reptile industry, it's about the reptiles, not about their face. And so like you all know what my face looks like, but that doesn't mean that I know what your face looks like, even though I know who you are. And if you say who you are, I can absolutely be like, oh yeah, we've been chatting online for years. It's what do you call that phenomenon, Jessica?
A parasocial relationship.
Yeah, that, you know, there's only one of me and there's like 1,000 of you. So
zoom in.
What?
I'm zooming.
You're zooming? Zooming what?
I'm just changing my zoom. Well, I don't know the answer. Okay, the RV warriors, because they don't have hotel costs and they're just like, they do like hump show to show to show.
You said
yeah, well, who takes care of their animals with their home? Like their partner, or do they pay somebody?
So like they don't go home in between?
They do, but they go home from like Monday to Thursday or whatever, and then they're getting ready for the next show. I'm like, are the same animals going to the next show, or are you like giving them a chance to decompress for 2 weeks? I don't know. Like that makes me uncomfortable on a fucking. I know a lot of people do it. What's up? I love Miami. Corn snakes. I don't know, Jana. I think about this every day. That's why I'm thinking like I might just not do it anymore. I am signed up for the Herp show in July, and I am signed up. I haven't signed up for it yet for the OKC show me, but I'll give it like 1 or 2 more tries in this area.
I'm like actually super surprised that you've tried any of the shows. So mad props. Good job.
Well, I mean, I have the infrastructure. I have animals that people want to buy. I sell animals. I just like it never feels like it's worth it though. Even if I make money, I'm just like everybody wants to know, and nobody knows but Jana, but my dog escaped, my elderly blind deaf dog, over the weekend.
We didn't even know if she was going to make it with the cross country move, but yeah. Chris, so you're so in the doghouse. Like, how could you let that happen?
Well, they looked for her for like 6 hours that night.
Pookie should not be missing right now, Christopher.
So then I'm at the show. I'm just like, my dog that I've had for 15 years. I've known this dog longer than my husband. Okay. It's just wandering alone in the fucking, because she was probably looking for me because she's stupid. She's got dementia, right? And I had to go to a stupid reptile show.
Definitely not worth it.
And it was just made it even more irritating. And she still isn't found. So if anybody sees an elderly Chihuahua in Oklahoma just wandering around because she's deaf and blind
and senile,
and senile,
Jessica's Pookie.
Yeah, she's probably been carted off by the grackles at this point.
Did you check with do you have humane societies there? Did you check with animals?
No, there's only a pound. No humane society because it's too poor for.
Did you check with the pound?
Yeah, of course.
Somebody stole her, and then they're going to be like, how do I give her back?
I know, they should give her back. She's like half incontinent and blind. Doesn't come when you call her.
She's like the world's best dog, guys.
Yeah, she's done more herping than Jana has, that's for sure. Let's be honest. She's a herping dog, but she's just old, and I let her down by not being here. So, congratulations, me. What a bitch. Well,
you should have taken your senile dog with you to the reptile shows. That's what I'm going to do. And annoy all my neighbors.
So Reptile Nation did allow dogs, which I'm still surprised about. Like, I don't know if we should have dogs, but whatever, But to me, you need to focus on what you're doing, like anti-theft, customer service. If your dog can sit happy in a crate, great, but I don't know. Cookie's old. She would need to go to the bathroom a lot. She'll probably cry because it's slightly too cold because she's 100 years old and a Chihuahua. I don't know. Well, we've complained enough.
This was like a whole episode of complaining.
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell you that my tattoo artist is getting into sand boas? And she's going to start breeding them. And I feel like that's awesome. I don't feel like anyone locally is really working with sand boas.
I don't know. Sand boas are cool. They're like a ball python alternative, if you wanted to think about it that way. And they deserve to be more expensive than they are.
We had a big talk about how they should be amongst the list of entry-level animals because they don't have humidity requirements like a ball python. So they're like, they should be up there, with corn snakes.
Yeah, and I think they are. They're just like,
they're not readily available here or talked about here. But they're so derpy and cute.
Right, they're incredibly stupid looking, and that's their winning feature, right? Yeah, sand boas are fine. I like the Holloway reduced pattern phenotype the best to me. So if we could have more of that, that'd be dope.
30 to 40K weekend. Wow, I would do a lot for a 30 to 40K weekend.
Wow, Jana.
Email now. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, at an NARBC, but like you can't do 30 to 40K at even a Reptile Nation unless you're bringing like somehow like the right balance of price point hog noses. I had a girl complain to me about hog noses, and I wanted to slap her, but I didn't because I don't need an assault charge today. So she was like, she's like, "Do you have any hog noses?" And I'm like, "No, I sell corn snakes." And she's like, "Well, who else has hog noses?" And I point to someone who has hog noses because it says hog noses on their sign. Right? I haven't been over there, but I'm like, and they're like, "Well, they only sell hog noses that are at least $400 because they're like het stuff or like combo."
Right, yeah.
And she's like, "I don't want that. I only want a basic hog nose, really cheap." And I'm like, literally, fuck you. That's my thought in my mind. It's like they're like trying
the world
to breed.
Should not be breeding normal hog noses,
right? For just for you.
Yeah, we don't need more normals. Like
that person has a project, a double snow, a sable lavender, whatever the fuck. Yes. They're having fun, and they have a pet price $400 that is just not good enough for you because you're poor or whatever. Save up, go get a nice enclosure. And pay the price that they're charging. I would charge $400 for every corn snake if I could, Jana.
Oh yeah, for sure. So respect. I paid $400 for my hognose female.
Right? It's not crazy. I was like, that's fine. Go pay. No,
that's
go
totally
pay
reasonable.
Stop being a bitch. So I wanted to drown her. I did not. I just thought it was like incredibly entitled to be like, people should make the barest bottom animal just for me only. They shouldn't work on their projects or try to add value, like make a
That's the other thing
Honda
that we've had a lot of discussion
hognose.
about, is that like the entry level price point of some reptiles. We're not doing those reptiles any favors. You know, it's like the same reason why they tell you not to rehome your animals for free. Just because you don't want the people who would get a free dog to have your dog. And so I feel like we've talked about this a lot in other shows about how the fact that there is such a low entry level price point in a lot of these animals it's not actually good.
It's not good.
Like
But
if you don't want to pay $400 for a hognose, which is not an obscene hognose price, then maybe you shouldn't be buying a hognose because you're going
right.
to
And,
spend that
well,
on the
and then I
hognose
was
and
like,
then the
well, if you don't want to pay
enclosure and
$400, you could buy a cord snake for between 40 and 160. Like the most expensive thing on my table was 160. And she's like, I don't want that. Well, then you have to pay for the price of the thing that you want, right? Obviously price isn't the determiner, it's the species. So like yeah, we have a bunch of problems in this hobby. That's one of them. Weird entitled buyers that expect literally a morph market's worth of selection to be delivered to every show, but then like they don't buy enough at that show to bother bringing a morph market's worth of selection. I just don't understand anything in this entire universe this week. Also, all boas, normal boas sold, which I thought was interesting.
that's awesome.
I didn't sell like the older, like the slightly more expensive ones. And I was talking to Sean Bradley, Mr. Bradley, and he was like, yeah, because people don't breed boas because you can't make money on a normal boa. It has to be part of like a project or whatever, like a byproduct, because they don't breed often enough, you know? But because I was like the one of two boa breeders there, basically, a bunch of them sold. So that was like interesting. But I don't know. We definitely are complaining. Can be reptiles. I think you should do both. Hognoses and samboas.
They said their wallet will only allow for one.
I say you do both.
Sell some ball pythons. I definitely didn't say that. But yeah, we definitely will keep talking about whether we do a national show with, you know, a cooler and a couch and cameras rolling live.
Oh my
the
God,
whole
you could
time.
sell Jello shots, Jana. We could make them the night before or whatever. They could be blue, teal.
I think you have to have like a lot of licensure to do that, but that sounds like a
Somebody
really good
sells
time.
Jello shots at the auction every year, and they make it themselves. Who is it?
Interesting.
Somebody comment. I know we have a 30-second delay.
Yeah, Jello shots with Jana.
Fucking campy.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, I have a whole bunch of adult female ball pythons that I need to sell because I don't feel like it's humane to breed single genes or one or two genes, no het ball pythons right now in this market, in this economy. I just think it's A, I don't want the babies, so I shouldn't be breeding them, and B, there's 50 others that are already in existence, so why would I create more? But they're definitely going to have to like go in pet homes because there are not breeders looking for 1 and 2 gene regular ball python females, whereas 2 years ago I could have sold them for an obscene amount of money.
Oh, Lindsay Noble is the one who does the Jello shots. See, I told you, Jana.
Oh, I'll have to message her and be like, what?
How do you get away with it?
Yeah. Teach me your ways.
Yeah, I would love somebody message Potter first and tell us to give a whole backpack 1 table at Arlington. And we will just like hang out for fun with a couch. Maybe a table. I don't know. We'll make it fun. Not like a vendor table.
Revenge of the Nerd Pie Sale. Is there like context that I'm missing on that, Jessica? Like,
did you watch that movie? That'll be your movie madness.
What movie?
Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, that's the movie. Okay, I will put it down, guys. Okay.
Will's funny.
I never have a clue. I'm sorry, I was sheltered. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I mean, well,
It is what it is.
It's kind of rapey. Trigger warning.
I think your trigger warning was a little late on that.
Yeah, well,
We have like a disclaimer that we
it's
can
more like
scroll across
dubious consent. Let's put it that way. You'll know the part that is dubious once you watch it. I don't know. All right, we've petered out. Any other topics? So I don't know if I'll redo it. Maybe, but we'll see.
Oh, so I need to do t-shirts. That's what I'm going to be doing this next week for all the sponsors. But if you guys want me to do a pre-order for whole back rack t-shirts, comment, let me know, because I will do that if there's a need. If there's like 5 people who want shirts, then I could probably just send those 5 people shirts. So let me know if that's like a thing, because apparently some people think we're famous, but I don't think that.
Well,
so
you still have the Teespring, right? Or Redbubble or whatever you were using.
I have a Teespring link in my bio. But I don't think they're like not as good a quality as like the super soft touch Vistaprint ones. So if we do a Stoneage, yours is in the mail. Calm down. You get one anyway. Although if your daughter wants one, let me know. I don't know if that's like PC or not, since it's not safe for work. But if she wants one, I will send one with your pack. Anyway,
Lori says she can wear it to Africa. Hurry up, Jana. What are you?
No, like seriously, they're gonna go out this week to you guys.
Okay. Jana's been slow.
Yeah, Jana is slow on all fronts.
Studio Cold Blood asked for one. All right, everybody message Jana if you want the new soft ones.
Blow up my inbox. It's cool.
Did Shane get a red one?
Shh, it's a surprise. What are you doing?
Is this? He already knows.
Why does he know?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's getting a red one.
Good. Special order for colors. Circa Jana.
Yeah, Circa Jana.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. Hopefully it didn't depress you too much. It depressed me a lot. But I think this has more to do with like the week. I knew all of this was coming price-wise. You know, I expect we're in for another 20-30% in the next 3 to 6 months.
But we definitely need to do at the end of the year like a correlation of the whole year.
Yeah. It's just there's no statistical power in a single quarter. Like the number of snakes is going down. So like the tax money is working, even on the pet level stuff. It's just there's so many on there. People don't get as much increase as they imagine they would for pet level stuff because there's just so fucking many. But anyway, we've rambled on long enough. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I am Gloria Borga.
She is done talking to people for the whole rest of the week.
I don't know what we're doing next week.
Oh, we'll figure it out. We'll argue about it.
It depends on what's happening in the world, mostly half the time. I'll post the data in the show notes in like an hour.
Yeah, so those of you who want to look closer at her stats, then it's easier just to do it from her link. And if you have show ideas or things you'd like to see us do, or shows that you really like this Stonks one that you'd like to see 1 or 2 times a year, you can always DM me those things so I can bug Jessica about it. But Jessica's always right, so if she don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
It's just hard, you know, and I know, like half the time that you need the feeling of the show to happen, right?
Yeah.
Because if it takes me 5 to 10 hours to do something, like it better be fun feeling. That's all. All right. Cheers, everybody. For some reason, the delay disappeared in the last 20 minutes of a 2-hour program.
Apparently, we just had to complain it to death.
Fucking right. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Have a good weekend.